How hard is it to make a build in Path of Exile? Turns out, very hard. Hey Exiles, Josh Rooney here. I've been playing this game for a long time and always just look up a build guide for when I want to play for the next league. And I was planning on doing the same thing as normal until I saw these two screenshots posted on Twitter. First is a new skill that drains a supporting minion's life in exchange for having an extra aura. Now that by itself really isn't anything crazy, but then I saw this. This node here is a change to the Templar's Guardian Ascendancy. There are 3 different elemental relics, each giving a different aura. Those auras are anger, hatred, and wrath. Once I saw that, I instantly had an idea for a build. What if I could proc all types of elemental ailments with a single spell? If I can pull it off, it'll be cool at least. Now, fair warning before I get into the details, you need to know a decent bit about the game's mechanics because I'm not explaining all of them. With that out of the way, let's look at my POV. First off, the spell I'm choosing to use is Crackling Lance. I'm going for more of a single target build here because I want to. Now, you might think I'm stupid for going for controlled destruction here, but needing to go for both crits and ailment effects, and I need to throw in some extra minion nodes in there in the skill tree, it's just too much. Also, Consecrated Effect works on Crackling Lance for whatever reason. It's weird, but it's more damage, so whatever. Next up is Orb of Storms to apply my curse of choice, Conductivity. Even though I'm technically doing fire and cold here as well, most of my damage is lightning, so Conductivity is my best choice here. Next up is Summon Flame Golem with the new Guardian's Blessing that I talked about. And I'm choosing to have haste here so I can activate it whenever I need the extra cast speed. For auras, I'm mostly focusing on defense because I'm not good at building defenses, and I'm getting my damage auras from the elemental relics. And lastly, I have Summon Holy Relic because I want my Flame Golem to last as long as possible when I turn on Guardian's Blessing. Now, you may have noticed that I still have a lot of sockets open for whatever, and the idea behind most of this build is I want to be able to change whatever I need or add whatever I need when leveling or mapping. Now, speaking of items, I don't have too much going on here. Mostly gear ideas, something for a baseline to look for on the trade website when I get into mapping. And I'm only going for 2 uniques here. First is the shield, mostly for the +2 level to any socketed minion gems, and this helmet because I want to keep my minions alive. Now for the skill tree. The main things I'm going for with this skill tree is minion duration, because the elemental relics only last for like 10 seconds without some duration. Mana reservation for more auras, elemental effect chance and effect, lightning damage, and survivability nodes like life, energy shield, and block. Now for my Ascendancy nodes, we pick up Radiant Crusade because it's in the way of Unwavering Crusade, but the minion it gives us takes aggro and is quite tanky, so it's fine. And then I get Unwavering Crusade for our elemental relics that I'm building around. Then Radiant Faith because I'm reserving so much mana, it's just free armor and energy shield. Then lastly, Bastion of Hope for free 25% chance spell block chance. Now, looking at my DPS, it's not that good, but POB does not include the buffs from elemental relics. So if I give myself the same auras, and I turn on my haste, now my DPS is a lot better. Still not great, but this is my first build, and the items I gave myself in the POB are pretty bad. Now that I have a good idea for the build laid out, it's time to play. Also, I consider this build to be a win in my books if I make it to yellow maps. Now to name this character. Perfect. I'm only going to be showing what's important for the build. If you want a video showing mostly what's in the axe, I will link my video in the description. With that out of the way, I'm going to be using lightning tendrils until I can get something better. Next, I get Frostblink and Lightning Orb and Summon Holy Relic. Almost at the end of Act 1, I can change lightning tendrils to arc, and I'll be using arc until I get my Crackling Lance. I also pick up Flame Dash. And with the slow Merveil kill, it's on to Act 2. Now I can finally get some auras. Vitality, Herald of Ice, and Frost Shield to be specific. I completely forgot about Frost Shield and Wave of Conviction, so I will be using both of them from now on. Later on, I pick up Determination as well. Now with the quicker kill on the Val Oversoul, it's Act 3 time. Once I make my way to the library, I can get Crackling Lance, Guardian's Blessing for my minion aura, and Conductivity. With that big power boost, I kill the Act 3 boss and clear my first Ascendancy trial and get Radiant Crusade with my points. Nothing interesting happens in Act 4 except getting a Flame Golem, and the same with Act 5, just attempting to kill Kitava and moving on. Now Act 6 is huge because I can get the rest of the gems that I need, like Discipline, Haste for my Flame Golem, and just some random supports. Now the Act 6 boss is always easy, and unfortunately I died once to the Act 7 boss. Now Act 8 is where I do my second Ascendancy trial, and I'm able to pick up Unwavering Crusade, aka the huge power boost I'm building around. And who better to test this new power on than the Thoughts? Seeing those health bars chunks down just feels so good. On to the Act 9 boss, and it's still as boring as ever. Now with Act 10, I do my third Ascendancy trial and pick up Radiant Faith, and it's good timing because at this point I was starting to get kinda squishy, but now I finish off Kitava and it's mapping time. Okay, I skipped almost all of white mapping because a big problem with a bossing build is mapping is just a pain. It's so slow. I end up taking breaks every few maps because it's just so boring. But I bought myself some gear and I got tired of waiting on a yellow map to drop, so I just bought one. Now while I'm completing this yellow map, I want to talk about my experience with this build this league. Getting through the acts with this was an absolute pain with how much the last acts are just like run over here and come back, and then run over there and come back. But I love the feel of this skill most of the time. And it's not bad in the tanky apartment, except for degens and chaos damage. I might play more of this league, but I got a lot of other games right now that take more priority because I want to make videos on them. Now, I hate with every bone in my body this league mechanic. I don't care in the slightest about Sanctum. I'm not good at it, and neither of this build. But the Trial of Ancestors is, in my opinion, garbage. I wanted to try out this league mechanic once I got into maps and I had the idea of my build done. But with all of the one-shots and mobs that are ridiculously tanky and annoying to play against, cough, turtle and wave throwers, cough, but I kept playing because it's giving me the chaos I needed to buy my stuff for my build, so it just kept getting me angry and angrier. If I keep playing this build, I'll give updates in the description or comments, and I would love to hear from you and what you think I could have done better. I'll also have a link for the POB in the description. I think that's all from me. I hope you liked the video, and if you did, if you could drop me a sub, that would be great. Later.